Hey guys, what's up? It's Zain. Briefly, I wanted to talk about in this video why you should let the state prove its case against you, right? Let's say you've been charged with a crime. What the state needs to do is prove each and every element beyond a reasonable doubt of that crime you committed. Okay? I'll put a link of what beyond a reasonable doubt is and how the state needs to prove that. But generally, when you're given legal advice by your attorney, whoever your attorney may be, and he tells you or she tells you that you need to let the state prove its case, you let the state prove its case, all right? Because usually your attorney knows what's best for your interest. You gotta let the state prove its case against you if your attorney recommends that this is the best pursuit available for you. All right? Now, I can't tell you what to do because it's ultimately up to you as a client to tell the attorney yes or no. I want the state to be able to prove its case, or no, I'll take the plea bargain deal, what the state is offering me, and I don't want the state to prove its case. Usually, most cases end up in a plea bargain deal. A plea bargain deal is equivalent to a settlement in a civil trial or a civil litigation or a civil suit or whatever you want to call it, right? I can't tell you to tell your attorney to say this or say that because it's ultimately up to you as the client to make that determination. Your attorney can only advise you. I think it's best in this situation. Your attorney as an advisor, your attorney is allowed to advise you if you seek his or her advice, or that attorney can advise you without you seeking his or her advice. So if that attorney advises you, let the state prove its case because the attorney thinks it's worthwhile for the state to prove its case because the attorney may think that the state may not have enough evidence to convict you. Or the attorney may think that you might get a favorable result than the plea being offered. Let the state prove its case. Let that determination be made. Because that attorney is looking out for your best interest. And usually, when you let the state prove its case, it's more work on the state, right? And sometimes what will happen is when the state does prove its case, you may get a non-guilty verdict from the jury, right? You might get a hung jury, which is also beneficial to you. Or the state might outright dismiss its case against you, right? And your attorney will tell you everything that could possibly happen. But I don't want you to think that these are the only favorable results that could happen. What could also happen is something negative could happen. But your attorney will walk you through those steps, and you should generally trust your attorney when your attorney says, let the state prove its case. I think it's best to go to trial in this case. And as you, as a client, makes that determination because the attorney can't proceed without your consent, right? So, what you got to do is trust your attorney on this matter and let the state prove its case when your attorney recommends it's best for you and the whole plethora of options and the whole plethora of plea bargains or whatever the state is offering, pretrial diversion, that we should take this to trial, let the state prove its case. Okay? Usually when your attorney says let the state prove its case, your attorney thinks there's a favorable outcome that will happen. Alright? Now, given that attorney's experience, that may or may not happen. But trust your attorney and let that happen, all right? Let the state prove its case. It's always generally a good idea to let the state prove its case against you, okay? And worst comes to worst, your attorney can appeal that situation depending on how the outcome plays out, all right? So trust your attorney, and if your attorney recommends it's best to let the state prove its case against you, generally, instead of the plea bargain being offered, let that state prove its case against you. Alright, guys? That's all I wanted to say. I am out. Peace.